was awesome. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey y'all! Welcome to another episode of High-Low News, where we profile dope people doing dope things in the community. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back with the jump off. Word to Lil Kim. Y'all, I'm so excited to be back for the 2021 year. And the person I have on the show today, I love her dearly. She's a mover, she's a shaker, South Florida, the country, whatever you want to say, culinary businesswoman. Now she's taking on the business startup community and helping other small businesses build up to build an empire. And she's going to tell us all about it. Without further ado, I want to bring on Ernisha Randolph. Hey, girlie, what's up?
Hey, how are you, boo?
I'm good. I am so happy to have you here today. You know, I've been a fan since forever. We met over 10 years ago. I know, right? That's crazy. But to see your meteoric rise, what you've done with Juanita's Kitchen and Shucking and Jiving and Sweet Butter, and now you're taking on the education space, so to speak, and helping other small businesses reach the heights that you've reached. You know, if somebody's been living under a rock, let them know a little bit about you and your entrepreneurial journey.
So, for everyone who does not know me, it is so nice to meet you all. I'm so happy to be here with High-Low News. I'm Ernisha, and I started out as an entrepreneur just at 8 years old. It wasn't really entrepreneurship, it was a candy house. But I went from selling candy out of my parents' side door to, by the time I was 10, I was selling chicken and fries, and I was making real money. Of course, at that age, you don't really know what real money is. So I'm making $500 a week. I thought I was rich. But when you're a child, when you're a child, you know, you know that's money. It's like I'm rich. But then when you become a teenager, other things start becoming more important. So unfortunately, I stopped my little candy house to be a hard-headed teenager. And just to speed things up, by the time I was 14, I ended up doing the unthinkable and I got pregnant. So when I was 19, I decided to clean up my act and kind of, you know, help out those. I had a lot of young ladies who was looking up to me, and I didn't want them looking up to me saying, well, if she can do it and she can have a baby and she's still fine, then I didn't want that to be on my name, because I knew I was dead wrong. I wasn't raised like that. I was raised in a two-parent household. I was raised in the church. You know, I knew better. I knew what I was doing. And, you know, I just wanted to clean that up. So I started a 501c3 nonprofit organization at 19 years old with real donations, real money coming in, leading real adult volunteers. And I had real young ladies in the program. So over the course of the program, I managed over like 50, you know, adult volunteers on and off. So
Was it a mentoring program? Was it a mentoring program?
it was a mentoring program for young ladies called Young Ladies of Integrity. All of those young ladies are adults now. And we got some really great results. And this is just that little bit of my story is just to encourage someone else out there. If you think that you're too young to do good and to help other people, you can start a nonprofit organization. And the younger you are, the more those teens and kids actually respect you and listen to you. So that's that. And then fast forward, tragedy happened in my family where my mom and my great grandmother died literally 2 months apart from each other. And I was 21 years old. I was scheduled to get married that year. And here my mom, you know, here this happens in my family. And my grandma, had been working for the county for over 40 years. And she's like, listen, y'all, I'm about to pack up and leave. And that's that. So we decided, look, we got to keep grandma here. She's been cooking all her life, cooking for free, you know, doing what she do. Let's go ahead and start this catering company. It worked. That's where Juanita's Kitchen was birthed. Juanita is my grandmother. And within the first, it started out as a trap kitchen. For those of y'all who follow my story, y'all know that is something I am absolutely proud of. I am not ashamed of it. You
And
know,
you should.
you know what
Hello.
you have to do, because you know you got to get started. Don't let, I don't have this in place and that in place, baby. Listen, respect the hustle, respect the grind, do what you got to do to get to your next level, and that's exactly what we did. A couple of years later, we did get a physical space, and I was able, because of that leap. It wasn't on my own though. Code enforcement came knocking at the door, and they threatened to shut us down if we were operating in our house. So, you know, those little things come to help push you to your next level. But because we made that leap and we did what we needed to do, that's when I got my first government contract for that business. And the rest is history. Juanita's Kitchen ended up catering for everyone from celebrities to the mayor's wedding to, I mean, you name it. We were everywhere, all over South Florida as a business. So that's a little bit about my journey in entrepreneurship. And then Juanita's Kitchen led to Sweet Butter. Sweet Butter led to Shucking and Jiving and everything else that we have under that Sweet Butter umbrella.
I love it, love it, love it. And that culinary, that restaurant start or catering start has allowed you and your family to be kind of like the model for a lot of people, especially in I would say Black Miami, Black South Florida, to show us you can work with your family and and have it work. And you guys have branched off. Your sister has a business, your brother has a business, your daughter has a business. She runs Shucking and Jiving. Your husband has the media company. Like, it's amazing to see. I know I'm veering off a little bit, but I just think your story is so amazing. Can you tell people a little bit about like working with your family and what that means and how you guys make that work?
That's something else I'm very proud of, Janae, and I'm glad you mentioned that. For too long, we've been hearing, you can't work with family, you can't work with friends, and you know, we've been hearing a lot of this toxic language, as I call it, when the reality is we'll go and we'll partner with a complete stranger that either ends up running off with our business, running off with our money, running off with our reputation, and so many other things. So why not? First of all, you know, you talk about the bickering all day and all night. It is what it is. But someone has to be mature enough to say, listen, we're going to make this work. Number one, I'm going to start off with everyone's strengths. What is it that you can do, you know, that fits into this business model, you know, and how can we kind of play off of each other's businesses or strengths or skill set or whatever it is. So running a business with my family is something I'm extremely proud about. It doesn't matter what everyone starts. We all do it together. So like with Tayon, he's extremely, Tayon's my brother. He's extremely creative and he does t-shirts and, you know, printing things. And, you know, so we all utilize that in all of our businesses. And I really encourage everyone today, find a way to make it work. If you have, first of all, if you got kids and you have a business, put them to work, honey. Number one is going to teach them work ethic. That's for one. Make them wear a uniform, put them on a schedule, give them whatever change you're going to give them, or you teach them the importance of putting in sweat equity, because that's equally as important, Janae. A lot of people don't talk about that. They're like, listen, I don't got the money to pay nobody. Family be tripping. They want to be paid. But the reality is, you know, if this is your concept and this is your baby and this is something, you can't just put it in anyone's hands and just say, look, we're going to partner on this. Have people put in some sweat equity, and that will, you know, lead them to whatever their percentage of the business is later on.
That's true. And we've actually talked about that offline. You coached me through a few partnerships and things like that. So that is so true. Thank you for breaking that down for us. I want you to you know, the reason for our conversation today, and I really wanted to have this conversation, is to talk about the Empire University. Um, it's amazing. Just let the people know what the Empire University is, and tell them what the mission of it is.
So even before even talking about what it is in the mission, Janae, one thing I will say, I don't know if everyone has been noticing, but this is the day for information sharing. This is it's happening in ways that I have never seen before. A lot of people talk about Clubhouse, but it was actually before Clubhouse, where you see people literally like, I'm here. I've made it at least, to this level. It doesn't matter. A lot of people think that, in our heads, sometimes we have these huge dreams, and, my dream is to be a darn trillionaire. I ain't there yet, but that doesn't mean I can't coach someone on how to get to their $1 million level because I've done it, so, but this is the day when you reach back and you help someone else get put on. You help someone else get to wherever their next level is. It's not to say that it has to be free. Of course, everyone needs to be compensated for their time, for their skill, for whatever. But this is a day to help. Withholding that information, that those days are over, said, and done, So, but that's where the Empire actually was birthed. I started Empire back in 2014, where I started hosting networking events. This was back when I was the president of the Young Professionals Network of Miami. And, we just wanted to help each other. It's like, listen, our goal was to retain talent in Miami. Everybody was leaving. Everybody was up out of here. Atlanta, to DC, somewhere else where Black people can thrive. They're like, why am I sitting here struggling? They want me to speak Spanish. They don't want, even if you speak Creole, they weren't accepting that as bilingual, So young professionals were leaving for school and never coming back. And our job as the Young Professionals Network was to try to retain some of that talent, to make connections with corporations. And then also, if they needed assistance in entrepreneurship, to make those connections and provide resources as well. So I wanted to go and take it a little further than the organization allowed me to. So that's where I birthed the Empire, where I did little sidebar networking events and connections. Long story short, it was something that I did back then, put it down, moved on in my businesses and began to focus. And then when Corona came, when COVID hit, people began losing their jobs, losing income, losing their businesses. And people began reaching out to me like, listen, what can you offer me? What assistance, what information? And I'm like, okay, well, how about I start a little mentoring group and mentor about 3 people. And that 3 people led to 11 people. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go a little further. So I started researching, trying to figure out, how I can get everyone into one space. The whole digital world, virtual space with Zoom and everything had began becoming popular. But I'm like, I want to make sure it's streamlined because I don't need my work doing good to interfere with business. So, girl, I ended up creating a whole curriculum. I was like, oh my God, there's so much information. It's so much to teach, but I want to make sure everyone knows from start to finish, what do you need to do in order for you to get the bag? The only thing that's missing is your hustle. The only thing that's missing is you actually doing the work, or you recruiting the team, in order to help you do the work. That's the only thing that's missing from it. But at least you have all the information and know where to go. So the Empire is an online virtual school now where we coach startup and current entrepreneurs, because there's people that's in EU who have been an entrepreneur for several years, but we miss steps. We miss small steps. We complain, Janae, a lot about how we don't have access to money. We don't have access to this and that. And the reality is, it's those small steps that you missed along the way that by the time it's time for you to submit that loan application, you're denied because you don't even know what that is. So, that's what we do in EU. We take current and aspiring entrepreneurs and help them to create a $1 million plan for their business and let them know all of the tools that are needed in order to get there.
Oh man, it's amazing. And I'm going to speak as somebody who was in the inaugural cohort, who took the course, who still is active in the our Facebook group, who comes on. It was a game changer for me. I have been singing the praises of this program because it is truly valuable, invaluable. Like what you give your students and the people enrolled, I can't even put, because I know what other courses cost and I know what other people are doing. And to see when I got in there and I was like, Ernisha is really giving them all the game. I have been telling people if you're a new business, if you're a small business, if you're pre-revenue, if you're pre-startup phase, you need to take this course because it is literally the game plan, the blueprint on how to get started, how to do it successfully, everything that you need to think about as a new business. I'm still going back through courses and being like, okay, like looking at old notes. That's how much I had learned from this organization. And that's why I really want to have this conversation with you as well, because you've given me so much. Like my business had grown from being in the course. And I could talk about it all, all day, but I wanted you to tell people what can they expect. Like when you enroll into an Empire University course, what can they expect when they attend their classes?
So the first thing you can expect from day one, we start talking about your head space, your mental space, and where you are. I'm a firm believer in affirmations and manifesting the life that you want. And in order for you to do that, you most definitely have to create the vision. You have to visualize it. You have to write it down, make it plain in order for you to get like, what is it that you want? A lot of times we know the life that we want, but in our head, but then once you start writing, you're like, well, hold on now. I really don't, it really ain't clear. So we start there. We start with, what do you want from your business? What do you want from your personal life? What does success look like to you? And that's how you will be able to create an accurate plan for you and your business. Not all businesses are alike, and not everyone wants the same thing. While someone's end result is, they want their children to take over the business and everything. Some people are like, listen, I'm not with this my whole life. I need to hurry up, scale this business, make it look like what it need to look like for somebody else to come and buy this thing from me, and then I could be sitting on an island somewhere chilling. It's different strokes for different folks. So you need to know what you need to be doing in the beginning. So that's first thing. We talk about mindset. We talk about the end in the beginning, and then we go into everything. We go over everything. There was someone who he already had his LLC. But once we started going through the course and we got to trademarks and things like that, and we looked up the trademark, there was a company very similar, almost identical, that had the trademark for his company. He had to go back and redo the LLC and redo so many other things and create a whole new brand for his company. So we go back from the beginning because we don't got time for that. Those are the types of things that by the time you built $1 million empire, that's when they coming for you and they telling you, hey, you a cease and desist. So then we go through everything with that. We go over government contracts. We go over, Janae, there's so many. We go over creating system and processes for your business.
Woo!
So that's a big one.
That is my Achilles.
You create those systems and processes because let me tell you something. If anyone here, I don't care if you've been in business just for 5 months, you know how difficult it is or it can be. And you are everything. In the beginning of your business, it is what it is. Unless you got a whole bunch of capital and someone who can tell you, because you can have all the money in the world. If you don't know who's supposed to play what role and what position and how to tell them to do it, that money ain't gonna do nothing for you. It's just not. Sorry, it's gonna be a bunch of wasted money with you experimenting and trying your best to figure out what role everyone is supposed to be playing. You haven't created jack diddly squat for these people to do. So the thing you have to do is create those systems and processes, and then you can begin to pull money together to fill those roles and those positions. So it's so much we go over in Empire. And so many things that it took some of us 10 years, 12 years in business to get through. And I'm like, y'all don't got time for that. This is a new day and age. Get through all this stuff now and get to the money.
Man, you said a word about the trademark, and I thought that was an important point because so many times, especially in the Black community, we don't have somebody who we could look to for help. And I see this course is that, and we miss steps, important steps when we get started. And I think EU serves that role for a lot of people who, for me, and a lot of people in the community, we just don't have the resources or the mentors and in EU's I'm saying EU Empire University, as we call it EU, it serves that role. Ernisha, Can you talk about what people past graduates have said about the course, and also talk about the community that you fostered? I don't even think that was even a part of the grand picture at first, but now it's like a full family. Can you speak
Yes,
about those
it
two
is.
things?
Yes, it is. Let me tell you something. That community is lit. It is everything. We've had where someone had a grand opening. She actually opened her brick and mortar during the pandemic, and EU was hands on. You know, the people who lived in near her city, because we got members from everywhere. First of all, y'all, everyone is not in South Florida. There's people from Atlanta, from New York, from Connecticut. I mean, you name it, from New Jersey. And and we do, stay in communication online with the community. We meet up on a weekly basis. And we have something called study hall. So it's like, listen, y'all, I need to know how to do these graphics, because paying graphic designers, they ain't where it's at. So y'all jump with me real quick on this program, and let's do this together. So the community, they get together, they support each other, we help each other to grow in every way possible. It will literally probably take one of the members to brag about this community for you to really get the full picture of it. But you're right, Janae, it's not something that was planned. It was like, oh my gosh, what in the world have we built here?
And
And
it's
what
so
was the other
organized.
thing?
No, and I was saying, like, could you tell me like what some past graduates have said about the course, or like what are some things that people have told you that they've gotten from the course?
So I was interviewing or speaking with someone on the phone a couple of weeks ago who's interested in being in EU. And I asked her, what brought her here and how she hear about us. And she said, well, actually, one of the grads introduced me to EU. And I went and I started speaking to a couple of people that I noticed was in the photos. I just wanted to research it for myself. She's saying everybody I talked to was like, girl, you gonna get way more than she telling you. She don't do this program no justice. Like, she goes over and above and beyond. And I was like, they said that, like, it just touched my heart, because I'm like, it's one thing when people say things to you or in your face, or when you ask for a review. It's a whole other thing when they're talking to a complete stranger who I don't even know this person. They aren't connected to me in any way, besides through these people that they know, or that they reached out to. And for them to say those things like, listen, I got the butter from the duck with this program. You better hurry up while she's still doing the one-on-one coaching, because once this thing goes virtual, you just gonna get the program, which is still a lot. But we get the butter from the duck. So that's what they're saying about EU. We have Cassie. She's our youngest member in EU. She joined EU when she was 19. She's 20 now. She hadn't started her business yet when she joined. She was sitting on a business for quite some time. Like, okay, I'm going to start. She took the initiative, joined the program, paid in full, and she's a college student currently. So she's paying two tuitions. And but she was like, I made that sacrifice because I know I have to get it. Cassie ended up launching on Black Friday. And when she launched this business, she has a skincare program, a skincare company. When she launched this business, Janae, she said she sat there and cried as the sales were coming in, just coming in. Because that's another thing. We did not promote that we would be teaching you how to do and start and run Facebook ads, but that's something that we do here as well. We teach you how to market and how to promote your business. And she sat there and cried, and baby girl got a real life bitch. She's like, I'm making money and I have a real business. So, that's just some of the feedback from some of the members in the empire. But that's the goal, Janae. It's to get it. I don't even think the goal is to get you to the money. The goal is the ultimate goal is to get you to freedom, to be honest.
Ooh, that's a
The money
word.
ago. We could get you to the money at first, and let's make some stuff happen. The closer you could get to the money, I believe that you get to the money so that you can reinvest in your business, so that we can do what we were talking about earlier when it comes down to creating those systems and processes and getting other people to work for you. Then the goal is to get to freedom.
Yes, man. if anybody is watching this and is in between, I think my entrepreneur, this life ain't for you then, because this is something that honestly, because it is to me like a mini MBA course in a sense, because you get so much. Like I'm like you're saying stuff and I'm forgetting that we went over that, but I'm using it every day in my business. Like you said, the Facebook ads, the sales, the systems and processes, the contract stuff, the setting up business credit. It's so much we go over. And like I was telling you, I was applying for a grant and I used notes from our class to help me get through that, because it was stuff that we had discussed that I needed, and I had it already in place because we went through over it in our class. Like
Right.
it's just amazing to me what you've done, and the fact that you have all these other things going on and now you're like I'm going to help other businesses as well. It's just speaks to the type of person that you are, the amazing person that you are.
Oh,
um Ernisha, you're welcome. Tell us what's next for EU. When is the next cohort? Can people sign up? And do you have any other major news going on with the Empire University that you could share with us?
so what's next for EU is we are about to start a new cohort. So you got to get in fast. We are starting the new cohort next Monday. If you know, try your best to get in, or you're like, listen, I need a little more time throughout the week. As long as too much time doesn't go by within the first week, we can still get you into the course. And yes, we do have some new stuff going on. So first of all, y'all don't know anything about the chosen ones. That's the first cohort that we've ever done. They come and they join EU. Every cohort, they're right back in class. But you all will be very surprised, because we will be adding on a lot more things this cohort. Business credit. So we're not leaving without you getting some, you know, some business credit, some real life money and funding. Like I said, the goal is to get to the money so you can begin to really scale up that business. And then another thing, there's something else that we were adding. You'll be leaving also with a business plan, the physical business plan, so that you can submit it to banks.
Wow.
And then another thing is, so this isn't final yet, but I am in communication with one of the larger organizations here in South Florida, for a partnership with EU. So I'm not sure what that will mean as far as, you know, how we will move forward, or, you know, I'm not sure. We're still building out what that partnership will look like. But I do know one thing: everyone who's in EU already is going to benefit tremendously from this partnership.
That is amazing. Ernisha, you're just a superwoman. And I just say thank you for what you've done. And I know your course isn't just specifically for Black people, or, you know, is welcome to everybody, but I can tell you that it has made a significant change in my life, and I see the other members' life. And I think for us is as Black people, as Black women, a lot of us are women in the group. It is something special what you're doing. And I just want to say thank you, because it's just so special. I'm
I just want to say thank you
trying not
all.
to cry. You know, we be crying in EU, and I'm just trying to get my words together. You come on Hollow News and just trip me up.
It's so funny because the last time everybody started cutting up in EU, crying and expressing their love and how far they've grown, and the guy in the course was like, "Well, you know what? Now y'all got me crying, and I don't even know why I'm crying, but don't be telling nobody because I'm a G."
It's, you know, and I think I don't know if we spoke on it, but the Facebook group, that's how a lot of us stay connected as well, and that's like our community within the community as well, outside of our Zoom classes.
Yes, a private Facebook community, y'all. So not everyone on it's members only, and it's a private Facebook group. And we come in there, share our successes. So you got to understand what that's doing, what That's a whole nother motivating factor. When you see, okay, we went over this in class. Now, boom, this one posting their new credit card, their new business credit card. This one posting their new business bank account that they finally gotten after being in business for 4 years. It's like I finally got my business account. I ain't using PayPal them no more, you know? So that's motivating. It's like, okay, let me get my butt up and do something because I ain't gonna be the only one. I'm not gonna be the one left out, you know?
Yeah, it definitely is a motivation. Ernisha, thank you so much for taking time to speak with me and joining me on Hilo News. I would love to have you back. Maybe we could do a panel with some of the other Empire University graduates. Let's do it because I think this is a conversation that we should continue and talk about small businesses building and scaling and doing it the right way so they could have a path to success. So thank you so much. That next cohort is when? Let's tell them again and how they could sign up.
That next cohort starts on Monday, February 15th. You literally got probably the week of to sign up. If you're a late comer, you can sign up at empireu, the letter U.org. That's empire, the letter U.org. Go ahead and sign up. We Empire's not like wide open, right? So it's not wide open where you can just go and register and then that's it. You have to be vetted into Empire. You know, we have a call, we talk about your dreams, your journey, your vision, and make sure that you're a good fit for Empire for right now. And then, you know, you take that next step. So Monday, y'all do not delay. Do not delay. It's 2021 and it's time to get to this money. It's time to get to reaching your goals and being who you already know you are. Why are you sitting at home waiting and watching everybody else succeed, watching everybody else get the bag and thinking something special about them and it's something different about you? It's not. The only difference is that they're doing it and you're watching. So let's go.
EmpireU.org, correct? And next class starts. So everybody look at the screen. It's up there, empireu.org. Make sure you sign up so you can get all of this goodness, especially small businesses, new businesses, whether you've been in business, whatever, 10 years, sign up because I'm sure you're going to learn something that you didn't know before.
That's right. Let's do this.
Yes, let's win all 2021 and beyond.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Ernisha. I appreciate you for joining me today. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Janae.
Bye. Y'all, wasn't that amazing? Wasn't Ernisha just so dope? Again, empireu.org. Make sure you go on, sign up. There's still a little bit of time for you. Classes start February 15th. Make sure you make the right decision for your business. So many of us are trying to break free. We saw with the pandemic, so many things can happen, and you need your own source of revenue. So Empire U will definitely set you right on that path. Thank you, everybody, for watching. As always, I love y'all. Be sure to follow us on Hilo News, Miami.com. That's our website. Sign up for our newsletter there. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Hilo News. And yeah, join us next time for our next interview. Bye.